So what's happening, fam? L.A.R movement still moving. Book entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father. Amazon Kindle Create Space. Um, Degrees, Debt, and Depression. Now, I hate when this shit keep doing that. Uh, they tell you to go to school and get an education. I went to school, I got an education. I stopped at a bachelor's degree. I had a different agenda. But you go to school and people get these degrees, right? And forgetting that school is a business. You know, an education will get you a high paying job is the commercial that they sell to you. So you got people out here who drank the Kool-Aid because truth be told, getting a higher education does put you in line to get to give you the net to get you into the network that can get you into a higher paying job. But there's there's more than one way to skin a cat. So what happens is you get student loans, and it's like, you don't think about the back end cost because you're young and your family is usually ready to throw you out because you've grown and shit. So they don't really explain to you what's up, and when they do explain, you're so young that you're oblivious to the back end of how this works. So you get to school, you get your degree, and at that particular point, you're proud of yourself. You're feeling good. Um, the psychological term would be you stunting on these hoes. So now that you feeling good about yourself, the question: are you going into the workforce, or are you going to get more schooling? Some people go in the workforce and they're paying off their student loans while they work, and they started from the bottom or whatever, entry level, and they feel like they ain't making enough money. And then, you know what? If I go back to school and get maybe a master's, damn, that'll bump up my pay. And then they do that. Then some people do it again. They go get their PhD. Some people do it again. You know. And here's the problem with that. Everybody doesn't pay attention to the industry that they're going in. In certain industries that works perfectly because by the time you get done, you're gonna be making six figures just off of the fact that you got all that education. So as long as you didn't go overboard with the universities you went to, you can pretty much pay that money off and live a comfortable lifestyle. But for you people who just doing too much and you want to get education and education and education, you messed yourself up in the game because every time you went back, you just added more student loan debt with not as much money that you to make or paying it off. Like you might have spent $20,000 going back to school, and you might have got a $2,000 raise out of it at the end of the year. You know that doesn't equate. Okay. So what happens is now you're in a situation where you stuck, and now that you stuck, what you gonna do? You know, because the debt hits you. Because you're supposed to once you get a certain degree, you're supposed to have a certain lifestyle. It's just for some odd reason you have to drive a certain car. You can't drive a Nissan Altima with a master's degree for some odd reason. You have to live in a certain type of home or townhome or apartment or condo. You have to dress a certain kind of way. And all this you have to have a certain lifestyle, and all of this adds on to your debt. So now you up in there living the quote unquote life, and then one day as an adult, whether you're usually in your 30s, sometimes mid to late, you're taking in all of these bills, and you're looking at all of the debt you've accumulated, and you upside down really, and you sitting there like listening to smoking Nofel, drinking alcohol. Not another second, not another minute, not another hour, another day. Hallelujah, bullshit, hallelujah. And now you don't know what to do because you know everything they told you to do, you did it, or you did what you thought you were supposed to do, and it's not working out because now you're looking at yourself with maybe 10, maybe 15, 20 years tops of really working time to you know, if you had kids in that time, you still gotta take care of your kids and prepare for their college and maintain the household, you know, and pay all these debts off, and still for some odd reason live this lifestyle and you're fucking yourself over because this is where the depression sets in because you know your bills are looking at you like life at this point is looking at you and talking to you like Macho Man Randy Savage, like, ooh, in Bill Mania 17, you signed on a dotted line. Oh, yeah! You gonna pay. And now, you sitting there like, this motherfuckers ain't shit. And you hear the music, and you find yourself not taking care of yourself because you don't know what to do. You're discombobulated. You find yourself eating bad, having bad relationships, and this affects relationships because one of the major reasons that people aren't getting married to nowadays is because of education, because people don't want to take on other people's student loan debt. People, and people are using people, not just as in dinner whores, but just in general, to get over and get through the day because they're saddled with so much debt. So the mix of using people and the mix of taking on people's debt and inheriting somebody else's debt who probably don't want to work themselves out of the situation, which is another problem, messes with people's relationships, adds to depression. So, but like I said, people eating bad, people drinking, people smoking, people are trying to live in escapism, which is worsening the problem. And say a second job is beneath them. Learning how to create a passive income off of maybe a passion or something is beneath them because their degree has them mentally at a certain level or socially feeling like this is how I'm supposed to be. This is the aura I'm supposed to give off, and that aura ain't helping your pockets. So now what? You're getting deeper and deeper. Some people get sick. Then you got medical bills piling on. Then you got pharmaceutical bills piling on. Maybe psychiatric or psychologist bills piling on, and it gets worse and worse. And they tell you how to fix it, but you can't see yourself working your way out of it. And the problem at the end of the day is to fix this whole situation. On the front end, you have to pay attention to the industry you're going in and look at how much money you would need to live a comfortable life with your debt. Like it's $40,000. student loan debt okay on that? Yeah. Because if you up it to 60 and only make this much, that's a problem. If you up it to 80 and only make this much, is a problem. So you got to price out your degrees in the beginning. And after that, on the back end, you got to put your pride aside and say, look, man, fuck it. I'll be a principal by day and an Uber driver by night. I got to chop this debt down somehow. And for some of y'all using kids as a hustle, that's a bad idea, because by the time y'all turn 40 and y'all really paying these debts, your kids gonna be damn near gonna be almost grown, and you gonna be saddled with that debt. That's why you see a lot of older people really struggling right now from that old hustle. So don't find yourself in that too. So I'm just giving out some game. I'm out, man. Peace.